Hi, it's Chantel. I just thought I'd put a little quick video together for you on how to read a food label. This is always a really popular topic at my cooking demonstrations and something that I explain with clients just so we get a really good understanding of what the food label means. Because it can be quite overwhelming when you get to the supermarket and you grab a product and you look at it and you kind of think, what on earth am I looking at? Or what should I be avoiding? Or what does this mean? Or what does that mean? So this video is just to give you an understanding of how to read a food label. The product that we're referring to is a kilo yogurt tub. So underneath nutritional information, there's serving sizes. So the manufacturer assumes the serving size for you. So they believe that you're eating 200 grams of yogurt each serving, which is actually quite a lot. And then below that, the average quality per serving, so that's the nutritional breakdown per 200 grams. But when it comes to reading a food label and to get a good understanding, it's best to focus on the average quality per 100 grams each time because that panel is on every product. So the per serving varies each time, but the per 100 is on every product. So it's best to kind of get familiar with that. So we're looking at fat. So when choosing a snack or a meal, we're looking at choosing foods that have less than 10 grams of fat per 100 grams. And then sugars. So the sugar content should be less than 10 grams per 100 grams. And salt should be less than 150 milligrams per 100 grams. The next part to look at is the ingredients. And actually, I think that should be the first part that we look at. Because if you're looking at something that has a huge list of ingredients and some of them that you don't know, you shouldn't be purchasing the food. The way that the foods are listed on the label is that they are put on their descending order of weight. So anything that's within the top three, if it's either sugar, salt, or fat, put it back on the shelf. If it contains a lovely arrangement of all different numbers, I would put it back on the shelf as well. So there's certainly preservative numbers, colorings, and flavor enhancers that all specified under specific numbers. And I know that there are now some manufacturers that are actually writing them out so people can't tell what the numbers are. So this is a bit of an ingredient decoder. So some things can appear under different kind of words. So we're going to look at sugar, fat, and salt. So sugar can be on there in many different ways. So anything that ends in O's, so your fructose, glucose, sucralose, also malt, honey, sorbitol, mannitol, fruit juice concentrate, golden syrup, agave, brown rice syrup, maple syrup. So it's still, and some products have it kind of in there a few times. So we'll have like sugar and then it might have a bit of fruit juice concentrate as well or golden syrup. So just be wary of that as well. Fat, so fat can be under oil, milk solids, lard, dripping, shortening, vegetable shortening and vegetable oil. And salt, so there's many different kind of labels or different ingredients that actually do have salt in them as well that can appear on the label. So what do the statements on the label really mean? So this is the clever marketing that you see on the front. So you know you're 99% fat-free or low fat or no sugar. So reduced fat. So this food has to be less than 25 or has to have 25% less fat than the regular product to which it can be compared to, or that it has 3 grams of fat per 100 grams. No added sugar. So there's no added sugar, but there might be natural sugar in it. Low sugar has to be less than 5 grams of sugar per 100 grams. And cholesterol free, so the food must contain less than 3 milligrams of cholesterol per 100 grams. But this is something I know that they're actually just wiping out in the States now, that they're taking away the fear of cholesterol foods, because there's many research papers out there showing that foods with cholesterol in them actually have no impact on our cholesterol within our body. So that the cholesterol is kind of that, you know, that cholesterol is bad is slowly being faded out. And high fiber foods, so it must have 3 grams of fiber per 100 grams. So low salt, so the food must contain less than 120 milligrams of sodium per 100 grams. And back before, when it was all listed under different names, that still, the combined together, it combines the sodium total on there. So light or light can actually refer to the color, flavor, texture, or even fat, salt, and sugar content of the food. So that is definitely a bit of a marketing misconception, or I guess marketing genius, depends how you're looking at it. Sugar-free, so normally the real sugar is replaced with artificial sugars, and that's the same with diet. So it normally contains quite a few artificial sugars in it. So things to consider when choosing foods. Often low-fat foods are actually, they take out the fat, but they pump up the sugar, so it tastes just as good. When choosing foods, look for something that has like a low GI symbol, which means it's not going to fluctuate your blood sugars, and you find you're not going to have those energy highs and lows. Trying to avoid any genetically modified foods. So possible foods are canola oils, a lot of the oils. Try and look for a organic certification. So there's a few different kind of companies out there. If something does say it's organic, make sure that you look for a special kind of certification on there. Also, when choosing foods that are high in fiber, looking for whole wheat, whole grain bran, rolled oats, wheat germ, dried nuts, seeds, peas, legumes. And also just be aware of foods that claim that they're a good source of vitamins and minerals. So to get this, I guess, label, they have to have at least 25% of the RDI of the mineral and the vitamin. It doesn't actually mean that they naturally occur within the product. So I see this a lot in some breakfast cereals that are full of sugar, salt, and fat. So they're actually synthetically adding the vitamins to the product as well. Normally it's in an extremely cheap form that isn't really necessarily going to be absorbed and utilized by the body. So I kind of recommend trying to, eat more of a whole food diet and getting your nutrients through it that way. So that's all from me. So I hope you've been able to get something out of this. If you have any questions, jump on my blog, and there's this videos up there. So just leave any comments and I'll try my best to answer them as soon as possible. So it's www.chantelbell.com.au. Thank you.